Imagine this. You meet someone who seems perfect. They're kind, thoughtful, and everything you've ever wanted. You let your guard down, you trust them completely, and then, out of nowhere, they do something that shatters your world. Sounds familiar? Today we're diving into one of the most controversial topics in Stoicism: why you should never fully trust anyone, no matter how decent they seem. And yes, this includes women. Stick around, because this isn't about hating anyone. It's about protecting yourself. Before we get into this, let me be clear. This isn't about bashing women or saying they're all untrustworthy. That's not the point. This is about understanding human nature, about how even the most decent-looking people can surprise you in ways you never expected. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and one of those things is who we let into our lives and how much we trust them. So, today, we're going to explore why blind trust can be dangerous, how Stoicism can help you navigate relationships, and what you can do to protect yourself without becoming cynical. Let's get into it. Here's the problem. We live in a world where appearances can be deceiving. Someone can seem like the most caring, loving, and trustworthy person on the planet, but deep down, they might have motives or flaws you can't see. And when you trust them completely, you're setting yourself up for potential pain. Think about it. How many times have you heard stories of people who were betrayed by someone they never thought would hurt them? It happens all the time. The challenge is this: how do you balance trust with self-protection? How do you keep your heart open without leaving yourself vulnerable to betrayal? That's what we're tackling today. 1. The nature of trust. Let's start by understanding what trust really is. Trust is a belief that someone will act in your best interest. It's a leap of faith, and it's necessary for any relationship to work. But here's the thing. Trust is fragile. Once it's broken, it's incredibly hard to rebuild. And the problem is, we often give our trust too easily. We see someone who looks decent, who says all the right things, and we assume they're trustworthy. But looks and words can be deceiving. Stoicism teaches us to look beyond appearances, to focus on actions rather than words. So, the first step is to stop trusting blindly and start paying attention to what people do, not just what they say. 2. The role of emotions. Now, let's talk about emotions. When we're emotionally invested in someone, it's easy to ignore red flags. We want to believe the best about them, so we overlook things that don't add up. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoics believe in controlling our emotions, not letting them control us. That doesn't mean you should be cold or detached. It means you should be aware of how your emotions can cloud your judgment. If you're feeling overly attached or infatuated, take a step back. Ask yourself, am I seeing this person clearly, or am I just seeing what I want to see? 3. The illusion of perfection. Another thing to consider is the illusion of perfection. We often put people on pedestals, especially when we're attracted to them. We think they're flawless, that they could never do anything to hurt us. But here's the truth. No one is perfect. Everyone has flaws, and everyone is capable of making mistakes. Stoicism reminds us to accept this reality. Instead of expecting perfection, expect imperfection. That way, you're never caught off guard when someone lets you down. 4. Protecting yourself without becoming cynical. Now, you might be thinking, if I can't trust anyone, does that mean I should just shut everyone out? Not at all. Stoicism isn't about becoming cynical or closing yourself off from the world. It's about being wise. It's about understanding that people are human and humans are fallible. So, how do you protect yourself without becoming cynical? First, set boundaries. Know what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not. Second, take things slow. Don't rush into trusting someone completely. Let them earn your trust over time. And finally, focus on what you can control: your own actions, your own reactions, and your own peace of mind. The power of self-reliance. One of the core principles of Stoicism is self-reliance. This doesn't mean you have to do everything on your own, or that you can't rely on others at all. It means you should be your own foundation. When you're self-reliant, you're not devastated when someone lets you down, because your happiness and peace of mind don't depend entirely on them. Think about it. If you're constantly seeking validation or security from someone else, you're giving them power over your emotions. But if you're grounded in yourself, you can handle whatever comes your way. So, how do you build self-reliance? Start by focusing on your own goals, your own values, and your own inner strength. The more you rely on yourself, the less you'll feel the need to blindly trust others. 6. The danger of idealization. Another trap we often fall into is idealizing people, especially in romantic relationships. We create this perfect image of someone in our minds, and when they don't live up to it, we feel disappointed or betrayed. But here's the thing. That perfect image is just a fantasy. It's not real. Stoicism teaches us to see people as they are, not as we want them to be. This doesn't mean you can't admire someone or appreciate their good qualities. It just means you need to be realistic. Accept that everyone has flaws, including the person you're with. When you stop idealizing people, you'll be less likely to feel let down when they show their true colors. 7. The importance of discernment. Discernment is one of the most underrated skills when it comes to relationships. It's the ability to judge well, to see things clearly, and to make wise decisions. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of discernment because it helps you navigate the complexities of human behavior. So, how do you develop discernment? First, pay attention to patterns. If someone consistently behaves in a way that doesn't align with your values, that's a red flag. Second, trust your instincts. If something feels off, don't ignore it. And finally, don't be afraid to ask tough questions. If someone is truly trustworthy, they won't mind being questioned. Discernment is about protecting yourself, not about being paranoid. 8. The role of acceptance. Finally, let's talk about acceptance. Stoicism teaches us to accept the things we can't change, and that includes other people's behavior. You can't control how someone else acts, but you can control how you respond to it. If someone betrays your trust, it's natural to feel hurt or angry. But instead of dwelling on those emotions, focus on what you can learn from the experience. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to stay in a toxic situation. It means you acknowledge reality and take steps to protect yourself. By accepting that people are fallible, you can approach relationships with a sense of calm and clarity, knowing that you're prepared for whatever happens. Here's the key takeaway. Trust is a choice, not an obligation. You don't have to trust someone just because they seem decent or because you want them to be trustworthy. Trust should be earned, not given freely. And even then, you should always be prepared for the possibility that someone might let you down. That's not being negative, it's being realistic. By understanding this, you can protect yourself from unnecessary pain while still being open to meaningful connections. So, to sum it all up, trust is important, but it's also risky. Stoicism gives us the tools to navigate that risk wisely. By focusing on self-reliance, avoiding idealization, practicing discernment, and embracing acceptance, you can protect yourself from unnecessary pain while still being open to meaningful connections. Remember, it's not about distrusting everyone, it's about trusting wisely. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. Let's keep this conversation going.